So, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Gotenks Super Saiyan. I mean, it's just Gotenks. There's no other Gotenks that Figuarts have made at this point. It's just the one, which, a weird pick, I have to say it right now. He only has a Super Saiyan head, which is like the least iconic version of Gotenks. No basic head or Super Saiyan 3. There's packs you can get for that, but I don't want to spend an extra, like, $80 for a couple of heads, so I'm just fine with this Gotenks. And as far as it goes, on the back of the box, don't mind this. It's because I put everything in it, because I'm stupid. But we have this, shows the poses, a stand, and there he is. And let's just break him out here. And so getting Gotenks out of the box, you get a fair few things. In here, we get a couple of hands, but only a couple, which is a shame. Stand part, only 2 faces as well, and then you also get his little ghost. And you also get a severed bag similar to the Frieza I had reviewed, where you get stand parts and stuff like that. This is what is in there. You also get a base. I forgot to grab the base, if I'm being honest, but it's one of those typical rectangular bases that if you have any Figuarts, you know, you don't really need to see it. It's a base. Come on now. And so getting Gotenks out of the box, he looks really cool. He has the typical attire of the fusions, that being this. I find it odd that Vegito doesn't have these, I guess. I guess it's only because the fusion dance gets this clothing, I'm gonna guess. Now I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, that is what it is. But he's just kind of a little guy. He has some gray pants, some teal going on. He has the typical jacket. But like I said, he's Super Saiyan. He doesn't come with any other head sculpt. And that's kind of the problem I have with this figure. It's the least iconic one, like I said. This shows up in the time chamber when him and Piccolo are trapped in there with Boo. And that's the only time you even really see this. Like, that's not just, it's like the only time you see it. The first appearance of Gotenks when he goes to fight Fat Boo is typical, just normal, non-powered up Gotenks. Then there's this Gotenks shows up, and then when he fights Boo again, he's Super Saiyan 3. So it makes no sense that they just went with this one. Like, I don't get it. It's a weird pick, I guess. And he's just one of them weird guys. I mean, he does look nice. I like the belt. I like everything about it. One thing I will say that is a bit irksome is in person, in good lighting, that is the chest. This upper section here is painted. This all is sculpted plastic, but this is painted. It's this blue, purpley material, this kind of indigo-ish material here, this plastic, and that's painted. And it's also not painted too great. There's like a little bit of chipping in there, and this guy is mine, like outright. I bought him for a fair price on eBay, and by a fair, I mean the guy had $45 shipping. Man, that sucked, but you had the $20 off thing, so it was completely fine. But, I mean, that's a bit annoying. Like I said, even fresh out of the box, wasn't open. Like, I'm the first person to lay hands on the figure, and it's kind of chipped up, and it was like that since it came out of the box, unfortunately. But that's basically just the figures. So let's take a look at the accessories. So, first up, hands. Obviously, we have fists. We next up have this hand, which is like a gripping hand, it looks like. Kind of like an open grip. It's weird, because I'm just going to say this now. He comes with 6 hands, but there's only one set out of the whole box other than fists, and it's the peace hands. And for those wondering, no, I'm not joking. This is the other set of hand, is the peace hand. It's weird. It's a weird one-off hand. They probably should only gave him 1 of, but they gave him 2, and I don't know why. The Ki Blast hand, which, again, 1 of, weird. Pointing/finger gun hand, and I'm guessing it's a stance hand? It's a bit odd. It's like a kind of closed grip, so I'm going to say it's a stance hand more than anything. But again, we have this one left hand here, but everything else I showed was right, which is really strange. Meaning, out of the whole box, he comes with 2 extra left hands, and one of them's the peace hand. How weird. Next up are the faces, which since I didn't really zero in on the head here, you can see some very good paint work with this kind of orange fading into the yellow. It's really nice. This is the basic neutral face, which looks good. Has the nice kind of teal eyes. Looks very, very nice. Next up is this kind of cocky expression face. He doesn't have a yelling or teeth grit face for once. He doesn't come with one. This could be a yelling face. I feel like his face is coming off because it's one of those peg-on faces. But It's a strange one, because it could double as a yelling face, but I kind of see that smirk in there. So I see it as kind of like a happy attack face, you know? Like, he's kind of just being like, I'm going to win this one, you know? And finally, uh-oh, I love this face. This face is awesome. I want Super Boo just so I can pose him looking at Super Boo like that. I love this face. It's so good. It even has like the little sweat droplet up in the corner there. It looks so good. I love this. It's so ridiculous. I love that he doesn't come with the typical faces. That's what's really cool about him. I know he doesn't come with 3, which typically they always come with the 3 extras and the one on the figure. But, like, I appreciate the fact that they at least gave him some different faces. Now let's talk about the rest of the accessories, which are a little bit more interesting. So first up, we have the Galactica Donut, which is one of his moves, which is pretty cool, and it has the stand parts. I don't have the stand on, or the actual, like, base. These are the arms that come with it. So you get 2 different arms, the basic kind of 2-hinge arm, and then you get this one that has 4 areas, which is very interesting. Very good. That's the one you're supposed to use for the donut. It cannot hold him. Out of the box, it is loose, so it can't really hold Gotenks too well, meaning this other arm is meant for Gotenks. Now, this is not included. This is my own thing. This is the base I use, and I use that for the little ghost. Yes, his little kamikaze ghosts. You get one making this kind of silly face. There's no articulation to it. It is dual mold. I was going to say it's dual mold. It doesn't look to be. It actually looks to be painted. And it is really cool, if I'm being honest. I do like this little ghost guy. It's kind of nice. And like I said, he just kind of can peg on to the side here. He does have a hole in his back. This system I use for it isn't the best, if I'm being honest. But he can sit there like that, and it's pretty nice. So you can do that. I mean, that's basically his accessories. He doesn't really have much more. That's all. And he has a pretty good variety, if I'm being honest. Now for the articulation of Gotenks. It is pretty good. He has a ball joint in the head, typical of a figure art. His face is loose and keeps coming off, and I don't know why. It only just started doing this. And I'm too scared to press it on because he's pointy. Kind of like Vegeta is always a pointy-headed figure. He's just pointy. He actually cut me when I first changed the face. Like, it actually, like, cut me. Like, I was bleeding. Anyway, we have that typical part. We have the butterfly joint. These are on ball joints. I popped one off, and it took a lot of time to get it back on there. I thought I was going to break it. Swivel, double elbow, but the elbow doesn't go too far. It is there, though. Ball joint at the wrist, along with the hinge. Ab crunch, very good ab crunch at that. Rotation, forward, back. Back's a bit restrictive. Outward, double knee, rotation at the foot, and a toe bend. So, pretty typical. And that's basically it for Gotenks. And as far as it goes for him, what do I think? I think he's really good. Like, he's strange. It's because he's older than most of the figures I own. If I'm not mistaken, this guy came out in 2018, similar to the Frieza that I bought, which is the older one, which is why he comes with so much. He is a larger figure, though. The box is one of the larger boxes. He comes with a lot of stuff, and he's actually kind of an expensive figure because, again, he's just an oddity. He's a real oddball. I didn't pay that much for him, though. I paid $150, I think. It was something like that, plus the $20 off thing from eBay, because the guy selling him was selling him for $45 shipping. Why? Why do you have that? And I was like, okay, maybe he's in the middle of nowhere. No, the guy was in Calgary. It was Calgary. That's a pretty big city. $45 shipping is outrageous. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't have did it other than the fact eBay's like, here, have this $20 coupon on collector items that are brand new in box. I was like, no, that's good. I'm there. I'm for that. Give me that. And so I did. Either way, this is just a pretty amazingly good figure. Only complaints, again, is not enough accessories, because he comes with a lot, but it's such a weird variety. The faces are perfect. The effect things he has are perfect. It's just the hands. Why did he get 2-piece hands and not 2 key blast hands? That's the weird one. Like, there's a couple weird choices made here. Again, I think maybe he could have used another head sculpt. Like, I don't know why they went with the Super Saiyan. This is the only Gotenks. You can't get a Goten or a Kid Trunks either. They don't exist. They never made them in figuarts. Somehow, some way. I feel like they should be getting there eventually, though, right? Like, they're kind of key characters. I mean, people want them. This is the only way to technically get them, is this guy, which is weird. But as far as it goes, if you can get him for a half-decent price, I'd say go for it. He's a really good figure. And that's really all I have to say about SH Figuarts Gotenks. This has been Delete signing out.